Hello, Pisces, and welcome back. It is a new year, a new month, and a new reading for you. I am Lara, and I am a psychic medium and energy healer. Welcome to my page. If you are new, blessings. I hope to get to know you better. If you are a follower from last year, welcome back. I want to wish you a very happy new year and new beginnings. So, to start off, Pisces, I'm going to be reading from my Rider-Waite Tarot deck. I love this deck because it's very traditional, but I like the symbols that are on here because they're easy to learn, and I feel the more you watch these videos, the more you're going to learn about tarot and yourself. So, we're going to be reading from Rider-Waite today. And this is also a very good deck to get if you're starting off and you want to learn more about tarot and start working with tarot. I highly recommend this deck. That and Liz Dean's Golden Tarot. That was actually my very first tarot deck. And that's when I started learning from that about, I want to say 4 years ago. Wow, it has been 4 years. That's crazy. Anyways, the added guidance card and the overall feel for the month and additional message, etc., will be coming from Doreen Virtue's Archangel Michael deck. I myself work with Archangel Michael. He is my #1 guide. He's been with me since birth and will be with me until I cross over again, and he's just wonderful. So today, when deciding what deck to choose, he came to me and said that he would like me to read from this deck. So he has many messages for all of you out there. How wonderful. So let's get started. I've been kind of like chattering on a bit. Let's get down to business. So Pisces, the first card I pulled for you for the month of January 2017 is the, let me get that right, well, 3 of Pentacles. Now, I don't know if you can really see very well. There's this guy here, and he's building this statue or this lovely pillar there, and these two people are admiring his work. This card is all about craftsmanship. It doesn't matter what you do. You don't have to be a carpenter or a painter or anything necessarily like that. You can be a computer analyst. You can be a satellite engineer. You could be a nurse. Anything like that. What this card is saying is that whatever it is that you do it well, and you're appreciated for your efforts. And that's why I wanted to draw your attention to these people on the card, because it tells the story of the card and of the energy it represents. You're crafting this work. Say I'm going to use myself as an example. I work in a hospital. So say there's a patient that's really sick and, nobody can seem to figure it out. But the nurse says, hey, maybe it's this. And they pass it on to the doctor. It turns out patient has that, and they're going to start treatment right away. You see what I'm saying? People in your work field appreciate what you bring to the table because you bring it to them in such a way that's so unique. It's you. Nobody else can do your work the way that you do it because they're not you. The real juice behind the projects and the ideas is you, the way you do it. Nobody can do it the way anybody can do tarot readings, but nobody else can do tarot readings like Lara does because there's nobody in this world quite like Lara. You are unique. And what this is saying is this month you're going to be feeling special. You're going to be feeling very proud of your work. And you yourself are going to appreciate yourself and what you bring to the table, not just in work-related areas. It can be in all areas of your life. But this card generally tends to be about work and career and material aspects, as the pentacles are more of an earth suit. So it's more about material needs, the things that we need, the things that we strive for in a monetary sense. But like I said, this can come from all areas of your life. So people are going to be appreciating you, and you're going to be putting in hard work. Hard work in relations to work, career, hobbies, relationships. You're going to be putting in the work, but most importantly, people are going to notice, and they're going to appreciate the work that you put into it, Pisces. So that's a wonderful way to start off the new year, especially with new beginnings. We're all going to be having this great influx of new energy, new ideas, new goals, new things that we want to go after. So if you put in the work to these projects and things that you have going on, people are going to appreciate what you do. Most importantly, don't forget to appreciate what you do, because you can't always expect people to appreciate your work or your efforts. But as long as you appreciate what you do, then everything else doesn't matter. And this is a conversation I have quite often with Michael, Archangel Michael, because I always tell him, I'm like, damn, everybody, this other person's doing the same thing. I just had this idea, and they're doing it too, and I'm all upset. And he's like, listen. This person can do that, but they can't do it the way you do it, because you're Lara. And Lara is awesome. That person's awesome too, but they do it in their own way. People don't want, not all people want things that way. Sometimes people want it the way that you do it. So don't worry about it. There's more than enough room in the universe for all of us to flourish. So, some key points to think about with this, Pisces. Okay, so the next card that I pulled, it's reversed. But don't get freaked out, because I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, it looks like such a nice card, but when it's in reverse, it's scary. No, sometimes, cards in the reverse position are very good omens, good messages. So don't ever get freaked out if you get a reverse card. So the next card that I pulled for you is the Six of Pentacles reversed. Now, let's look at the picture upright. You see this guy here, he looks kind of wealthy, well-dressed compared to these people at the bottom that tend to look very poor and misfortunate. He's pouring coins into their hands, and he's holding the scale. I want to talk about the scale for a second. The scale is all about naturally balance. Okay, the balance between energies, a balance between the give and the take. Okay, so in the reverse position, this is still about generosity, and that's the key word for the Six of Pentacles. Again, like I mentioned earlier about the Pentacle soup, tends to be about like worldly, earthly matters, materials, survival, money, finances, careers, and things like that. So with this card in reverse, some of the messages that come through are, don't be too proud or stubborn to ask for help if you need it. And when I say help, it's not necessarily in the material aspect. Despite this being a Pentacles card and whatnot, there's multiple meanings to this. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If you have a lot on your mind, don't be afraid to reach out to somebody who tends to be fair and balanced with their thoughts. Again, the scale. Like if you know you have a friend who's not judgmental and you're going through some stuff and you want to bounce some things off of them, don't be too proud to admit, hey, I need another input. I need another opinion. Or, if you are feeling lonely and you need to get out of the house, don't be afraid to call up your friend and be like, hey, do you want to go grab a beer and just talk? I got a lot on my mind. Don't be afraid to do that. I know how, sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to be a bothersome, you know what I mean? But sometimes you just need it. Sometimes you just have to do it. Okay, so this card is also about not seeing generosity around you, and to just kind of take notice that you do have a good support system. You do have people that are willing to be generous and give you their time, their affection, their ear. Maybe it's a hug, or maybe you do need a boost in finances. Maybe you need to borrow some money until a bill comes in. This is saying to don't think that you're completely on your own, because there's abundance everywhere around you. You just have to be willing to see it. And you have to be willing to ask for it. Ask and you shall receive. Don't be stubborn. I used to be so stubborn with that stuff. I used to think that I could just handle everything. And now I'm learning it's not so bad to say, I need you right now. I need a hug. I always say that to my one friend when I'm having a bad day. I tell her, I really need a hug right now. That's all I need. And she gives me a hug, and the exchange of energy is so powerful, it shifts my perspective. I'm like, you know what? I'm in a crappy situation, but I got really good friends that love me and they care for me and they're there for me. I'm so glad that I asked for help. So don't be shy about that, and recognize that the people around you are willing to give you what you need. Okay? And to understand that generosity is not just giving money, it's an exchange. Give your time to somebody you know might need your time, or if they need some wisdom or some input, or another way of achieving something that they're working on, don't be afraid to give it to them. You know, say, hey, I got a solution for you. If you have it, give it. Because the more you give, the more you'll receive, and it comes back to you in many other ways. It's the laws of attraction, and it's real and it works. So, moving on to the next card. The last card I pulled for you is a Major Arcana card. And it's a wonderful card because it's very intuitive. And I'm sure you know I don't have to lecture you on who you are because you know who you are. But Pisces people are very intuitive, naturally intuitive and empathic. In fact, their ruling planet is Neptune, and that's all about illusions and dreams and psychic abilities, etc. So every Pisces person, to a degree, is naturally psychic. Whether or not you choose to listen to it or not is up to you. But, you know, coming from a perspective of a natural intuitive, I highly suggest you use it because it is so useful in many situations. The card I pulled for you is the High Priestess. Now, I want to talk about this card for a minute. Like I mentioned, it's about high intuition. It can symbolize a spiritual peak in your energy where you're becoming more psychic and in tune to not just your feelings and things that are coming to you, but to the people around you and their emotions. So when you hit this peak, a spiritual peak is like things start building, building, building until they blow. Not necessarily in a bad way, where it's like you could be building up to have this massive epiphany that you were never open to before, where you're like, oh my God, how did I never pick that up before? You see what I'm saying? So you're going to be feeling very sensitive around this time, and you have to be careful and be mindful of what is yours and what is not yours. And that's like the biggest battle with being an empath, is sometimes you'll be feeling another person's feelings and you're like, why do I feel this way? You have to be mindful of who you're around. If you're around somebody emotional and you start feeling emotional yourself, you have to say, oh no, this isn't mine. I release it. Love and blessings. This is also about trusting your gut. You have to trust your gut. I always tell people, you want to know how to listen to your intuition. What does it say in your gut at your core about this situation? Look past fear, look through the eyes of love, and ask yourself, what is in this situation? What is going on? And if your gut says go for it, then go for it. Don't be afraid. The gut never lies. The intuition never lies. This is also about seeing everything from a higher perspective, just like the eagle animal totem. The eagle rises high and well above any obstacles that may be perceived to be there. So this is saying when you take the high road in a situation and you say, you know what, I'm going to just forgive you. You're taking this road that says, I understand that there is something else going on with this person to make them this way, but I choose to love and accept them anyways. Take the high road. This is also about strong feminine energy coming in this month to assist you, and it can also represent a literal person. This person could be a psychic being drawn to you. It could be somebody who is also naturally intuitive under a water sign. Could be let me see what else. Let me see what I got. Could be another female coming into your life and your intuition is telling you, yes, this is right. There's meaning to this. And I also want to point out these pillars. You see how it's like black and white or black and gray. It also highlights, you know, the journey through life. It's much like the chariot card with the black horse and the white horse. In life, there's always good and there's bad. It's to be expected, but just know that if you're transiting through a tough situation, use your intuition to guide you back into the light. So if you feel like you're in a dark tunnel and you just never know when the darkness is going to end, use your intuition to find the answers and know that there's going to be better times ahead. Life is a journey. You just gotta walk it, you know? But it gets better. It gets better. Okay, so the added guidance card that I pulled for you, and when I pulled it, I had gotten some feelings that I made sure that I wrote down so I didn't forget. The card is your children are watched over by angels. So what I'm getting is that some of you have children that you are concerned for. I'm picking up that there are some women that are currently pregnant that have some pregnancy concerns, but I'm also getting that there are some of you that have children that are passing through this phase. Give me a second to try to word out what I'm getting energy wise. Sometimes it's like really hard to find the right words. Transiting from one phase from child to adolescence. So somebody who's coming from middle school into high school and there's some dysfunction going on, maybe the butting of heads, but that's natural. Just know that that period of time is going to pass. Children, and when they're in high school, they're going through these phases where they're trying to figure out who they are as a person. Naturally, they're not going to find out until like later in their 20s. So I'm not saying that this is going to last forever, but if you're having difficulties with your children, just know that they're going through this transiting phase that's going to pass. They're not mad at you. They don't hate you. They're just trying to get a grasp on what's happening in their lives and how to proceed moving forward, and they're trying to work their way through their feelings. The number one thing I'm getting is like massive amount of feelings, and I really feel like it's some of you have teenage kids that are just going through these phases. Some of you are facing like your child is getting into trouble, and other situations I'm getting are like children that are talking back or just being very sour. Know that they love you. It's gonna pass. It's not gonna last. Michael's like, don't worry, it's fine. We're watching them. Everybody's protected. Your family's protected. There is no need to worry. And he's also saying just now that I need to tell you guys that you are so loved. He said, make sure you tell them that they're loved. You're loved. Your children love you. They're fine. And they're going to prosper wonderfully. So the stone that I chose for you this month, Pisces, is going to be, and I have it right here, ironically enough, is amethyst. Amethyst is a pretty common stone as it's widely known, but amethyst is wonderful to work with for multiple reasons. It covers a wide spectrum of situations and issues and everything like that. It is all about intuition. It helps with your third eye. It helps you see things clearly. And you don't even have to be a psychic to use it. You can keep it on you, and it helps you. It helps strengthen your gut urges, which is your intuition, and it helps you to trust and follow on that. Especially if, and I also get that some of you guys experience strong anxiety sometimes that comes on. It feels like waves. It's like a wave feeling. And if you find yourself caught in a wave of anxiety, keeping amethyst on you is wonderful because it calms you, it soothes, and it's much like a Xanax. I call it the Xanax of the crystal world. I keep amethyst on me all the time because you can use it for protection against mischievous spirits, negativity. It blocks out negativity from other people. It pulls negativity out of you. It's great for migraines and headaches, but I would really love to see you guys use this because it'll help you with any situations you might be going, worry, anxiety, anything about your children. It'll help with your intuition. It helps you even helps you sleep better. I keep it under my pillow because sometimes I just wake up with massive headaches. So amethyst is the way to go for you, Pisces. keep your head up. Just know that the key messages for this month is you are appreciated. If you're having trouble with your children, don't worry about it. This will pass, and that your children love you dearly and you are appreciated by them, even if they don't show it. If you're having maternal problems, they're protected by the angels. You don't have to worry about it. And trust your intuition, trust your gut. And if you're stuck in a situation where you don't know, if you feel like you're being pulled in a different direction, this is saying to use your intuition to guide you to which way to go. And don't be afraid to ask for help if you feel stuck. So those are your key messages for January, Pisces. I just want to say thank you for watching and listening through all of my rambling. And please be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. I will have my new website up hopefully soon. I'm very excited because I have tons of new packages. So please keep an eye out for that. Until next time, Pisces, I wish you nothing but the best. Big warm hugs from me to you. Good night.